No, I'm gonna go back to playing one-on-one. It's too stressful. Honestly, like it's just way, way, way too stressful. So I played basically yesterday. I dodged 28 times and 4 remix, so 32 dodges yesterday. Like I understand I'm winning like 4 out of 5 games, but I mean Jesus, the level of dodges you have to do. I'm basically playing 1 out of 6, 1 out of 7, sometimes 1 out of like 15 games. And the problem is, like I'm telling you, it's just too difficult. It's too stressful to play with shitters, right? Because I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because you're so used to playing good players, right? Let's say somebody's like 40% HP, right? And you have everything up, right? And you have Annie on your team. You're expecting Annie, like you can kill the guy who has 40% HP as long as she lands her stun and lands her abilities, right? So I'm just saying that stuff like this is going to happen where you ping the guy. So this is the game we just played. It was my game two games ago. So look, let's say we have, I don't know, let's say you're playing with Annie, and let's say they have Yonya, right? Yonya, let's say 40% HP. You can kill Yonya with 2 autos and E. As long as he doesn't get the shield, and that means Annie should stun him, and you immediately go in, right? So, let's say you ping Annie to go in, right? And Annie uses her stun, you go in, and then she just walks away. Right? So what happens is there's not enough damage for you to finish him. Because Annie should have at least W'd. Well, not W, at least Q'd. Or I don't know, like let's say she uses Q for stun, and then she is too afraid to walk into the W range because she's afraid to die, or whatever. Right? But you already committed. What's gonna happen is the stun is gonna finish, he's gonna Yoni is gonna get his Q and gets his shield, and then you just die. And that's it. And because Yoni got the kill, he probably levels up, and then he goes and kills Annie as well. Because now he has more HP. So you see, like, when you play with good players, you kind of, in your mind, you think, how will Annie behave? Okay, so she will do the stun, she will do the damage, then she will back off, possibly flash if things go wrong, and you gonna finish the job, right? That's kind of how good players play. And I showed you videos where it's like you play on millimeters. But like with shitters like this, I don't know how to play with them, honestly, because I don't understand what they're doing, right? Because like, do you go in? Like, do you not go in? Who do you blame for your death, right? Is it because you went in, right? Assuming that Annie is going to behave the way she should, or it's the Annie's fault for not playing accordingly. That's one thing I don't understand about League. It's just you can't predict their behavior. Like with good players, it's very easy. It's very easy because they are going to behave predictably, right? You gotta have Lee Sin who's gonna land all of his abilities. He's not gonna troll. Whereas with some, like I just played the game, I basically AFK'd. I couldn't take him, right? He is doing such weird shit. I could not understand what is he doing. Like I just could not understand what was he doing. He was basically using Q on minions, on our minions, to get close to Aatrox, and then he walks away. And now you already spinned in. And I had to burn I had to burn so many resources just to survive. Like it's very, how to say, it's very tilting to play with them. I mean, that's what I'm saying, is that you cannot predict this behavior. Because if he takes like Aurelian Soul and goes 0-20, I mean, you're just not gonna win the game. It's just not gonna happen. So, I think League as a game is just way too stressful. Even at like 80% level, the problem is these games are so stressful, they take a lot of resources just to psychologically survive through them. right? It's very, very psychologically difficult, like, to play with guys like this. It's just I don't know what to do. Like, I just don't want to play with them, and that's it. That's why I'm probably gonna go 1-on-1, and that's about it. It's like it's just more relaxing, you know. And you can do troll builds in 1-on-1, right? Anyway, so yeah, so I'll finish up with a 82.35% win rate, right? So the dodge rate is, let's calculate the dodge rate. So how many games I played in here? So I played 10 games. So that's 10 games, and total dodges were, let's just combine everything. This plus this plus this plus this. 52. So in total there were 62 lobbies, because 52 plus 10, and we played only 10. Right, so we divide this by this. Yeah, so we only play 16% of lobbies. That means the dodge rate is 1 minus this. Yeah, so 84% dodge rate. Basically, you're gonna be dodging more than 8 out of 10 games, statistically speaking. But you see, it's so time consuming, god damn. And there is no guarantee that you're not gonna get this guy on your team. Because one problem I noticed using Professor in normals is that there are a lot of first timers. I'm talking like, there are first timers that are good, and there are first timers that are like this. And it's impossible to tell the difference. Impossible. Because look, when I buy a brand new account, I'm gonna play Tryndamere, and on statistics it's gonna show that I never played Tryndamere, even though I'm like super giga experienced with Tryndamere, right? Whereas if this guy actually never played Annie, right? He goes into lobby and he picks Annie, you don't know whether he's a smurf or he's legitimately a first timer. So this is something you just absolutely cannot detect. And that's the problem. That's one of the problems. Now, the solution to that, of course, is ranked. But in ranked, the problem is counterpicking. And it's even worse. Counterpicking is by far the worst shit ever in the game. And, of course, the draft LCS compositions like so. You can't play. Like, I'm telling you, if you were to compare the time it takes to find a lobby in ranked as Tryndamere main, it's too long. Like, I was dodging for 7 hours one time. Like, 7 hours of dodging. And it was like 39 lobbies, I think, or something. Because you see, as soon as they see Tryndamere, Malphite. And, like, brain dead 1 IQ person can beat Tryndamere with Malphite, even if he goes 0-3. And right now, Riot changed the game where early deaths, gold from early deaths, is not that high. So even if you kill him twice, it's like not a big deal, because what are you gonna do? Buy a long sword. It's not gonna make a difference. Back to 1-on-1, basically. Alright, take care.